Hello, my name is Nabil. Welcome to Brighten Your Mind channel. Thank you for joining me for this course, English Language Acquisition. I'm glad that you have chosen to trust me and to follow, or at least to listen and learn how to discover the best ways of acquiring English and not learning it. Quickly before I start the course, I would like to express very briefly this course, English Language Acquisition. So the idea of this course, the principle is very simple. I will share with you a video at least once a week along with its English transcription so that you can download and listen to it with your smartphone. At the same time, you will be able to read what I say. You are already watching the first video. I will give you every week a simple but very effective advice in order to help you learn to speak English. So, the goal of English language acquisition is to allow you to go from the state of comprehension, that means you understand English, to the state of expression, that means you are able to express yourself and you are able to speak English. So, this method is very different from other methods. You will notice over these videos with me that this method is different. But I promise you, I guarantee you that if you follow these techniques, your English speaking level will improve tremendously. If you follow the advice I provide, you can't fail. Impossible. Today, I'll explain you why. With the first technique, which is the secret of how to learn to speak English. So, it is very important for you to know that this course is based on, or rather designed for people that already understand English. If you are a beginner, this course isn't made for you. The effective way of how to learn to speak English. This is the title of today's technique, of Technique 1. Before I tell you about this technique, I will tell you what you shouldn't do. And here you may be a bit surprised. The first technique I advise you not to do is to take English classes. The thing I advise you not to do is to learn grammar and lists of vocabulary. So all this is very surprising. How can you learn a language without taking classes? Without following grammar rules? Without learning vocabulary rules? That may indeed seem very unusual. And that's the reason why I've told you earlier that this course is designed for people who understand and know the basics. I personally believe that you don't learn how to play soccer by sitting in a room and studying soccer rules. I think that you don't learn how to play tennis by sitting in a room and studying all the tennis rules and all the tennis theory. I think a minimum of theory is always necessary in order to understand something. But the theory isn't everything. And if you only accumulate theory, listen to complicated grammar rules, read vocabulary lists that won't serve you for anything, with words taken out of their context, well, you won't improve your language skills. السلام عليكم. في هذا الفيديو سوف أقدم لكم طريقة فعالة جدا لتحسين مستواكم في اللغة الإنجليزية من دون معلم وبعيدا عن الطرق التقليدية المعروفة. يجب أن نعلم أن هذه الدروس غير موجهة لمن يريد تعلم اللغة الإنجليزية من الصفر، لأن هناك طرق أخرى سوف أتحدث عنها فيما بعد. أؤكد لكم لو طبقتم هذه الطريقة بحذافيرها ستحسن مستواكم وتصبحون قادرين على الفهم والتحدث باللغة الإنجليزية بشكل أفضل، بالإضافة إلى الكتابة من دون مشاكل. الطريقة سهلة للغاية، فهي تعتمد على الممارسة والاستماع للغة الإنجليزية، وأؤكد على الممارسة والاستماع. أولا، كل ما ستحتاجونه هو الاستماع ومشاهدة هذه الفيديوهات التي أشاركها معكم. كل فيديو هو عبارة عن درس أتحدث فيه عن تقنيات تعلم اللغة الإنجليزية، ويقدم لكم نصائح وأسرار ستجعلكم تتعلمون بسرعة. سوف تجدني أتحدث ببطء، أؤكد ببطء، وأستخدم عبارات وكلمات سهلة خاصة في البداية، مما يجعلكم تتعودون على الاستماع إلى اللغة الإنجليزية. من المحتمل بطبيعة الحال أنكم لن تفهموا بعض الكلمات، لذلك ستجدون في الفيديو كل شيء مكتوب، كل شيء أقوله مكتوب، وأنتم يمكنكم تتبع ما أقوله في نفس الوقت. وهنا يمكنكم أن توقفوا الفيديو وتبحثوا عن معنى كل كلمة أو عبارة لم تفهموها في المعجم أو في خدمات الترجمة على الإنترنت مثل خدمات جوجل للترجمة وغيرها، ثم تقومون بحفظها، وبالتالي ستتعلمون عبارات وكلمات جديدة ستزيد من حصيلتكم اللغوية، بالإضافة إلى أنكم ستنمون من مهارات القراءة لديكم. وهكذا ستضربون عصفورين بحجر واحد، لأنكم أولا تقرؤون وتستمعون باللغة الإنجليزية، وهذا ما سيحسن من نطقكم وقراءتكم، والأهم قدرتكم على إجراء المحادثات والفهم، وفي نفس الوقت تستفيدون من النصائح التي أقدمها في كل فيديو. والآن فلننتقل إلى تقديم الدرس الأول، أو بالأحرى التقنية الأولى، وبطبيعة الحال باللغة الإنجليزية، فابقوا معي. Now, the suspense has been long enough. I'll give you technique 1, which is very simple, and which is the basis of English language acquisition's learning system. The first technique is listen. Listen. You must listen to a lot of English, and you must understand it. That is very, very important. If you listen to things that you don't understand, you can't get better. But if you listen to things that you understand, even if there is sometimes a sentence with a word or an understand, thanks to the context, we understand the whole sentence. Your brain will make the link. Your brain will find the meaning of the words and expressions that you don't know yet. So, you must listen to English that you understand. It's simple. It's simple and it's scientifically explained. How does it work? Well, it's once again very simple and logical. Your brain records everything. If you listen to English every day for 30 minutes, 1 hour or more, and you understand it, I insist on the word comprehension. You should understand. Unfortunately, it's not magical. If you lay it down and you listen to English without understanding it, or without actually listening, if you fall asleep, for instance, you won't improve. It has to be active listening, and then your brain will make the link. It will hear a sentence and say, I don't understand that word, but I understand the other words that allow me to make the link. That allow me to make the link and to really understand the meaning of the sentence. And ultimately, all this is automatic and natural. It's all automatic. For example, you hear me say an expression or a conjugation or a sentence. He doesn't understand. And if your brain hears that sentence 20 times, it will record that and say, he doesn't understand. It won't say, he don't understand, or he not understand. It will say, he doesn't understand. By hearing the sentence over and over, ultimately your brain will memorize it. And when we think about it, it's logical. It's the exact same way you have learned your mother tongue. nothing more or less. That's the way children learn a language. So why try to learn English using a method that is different from the method you use to learn your mother tongue? That's the question I ask you. That's really no logic behind it. Of course, the method of English language acquisition is not limited to listening. There are other techniques that I will develop in the following videos. But this whole natural learning system is based on listening and comprehension. This really is very, very important. I will just give you one personal example that worked very well for me. And that is the reason why I'm convinced that this method works. Okay, the example is about the time I spent abroad and with native speakers of English in Morocco. So I had learned English at high school for 3 years. Unfortunately, I was not satisfied with my English, so I attended classes. They tried to teach me grammar rules, to make me memorize vocabulary lists, to make me listen to English that wasn't spoken at all. And it didn't attract me. In 2008, I entered the university to study English. I was a young university student. Once again, I wasn't satisfied with my English. I didn't know how to speak. I had some knowledge because nevertheless I took classes. So I knew what the English language was like, but I was unable to speak fluently. So I listened a lot. I listened and listened and listened to my English-speaking friends every day at the university. I tried to watch a lot of television. I tried to listen to things I understood. In order to help me understand, I read and studied a lot. And I focused on the listening. I listened to BBC Learning English programs. The result, in 3 months, I was able to speak. Of course, not perfectly. It's obvious, in 3 months, you can't speak English, you can't speak a language perfectly, but I was able to make actual sentences, to make myself understood, to deliver English presentations, to raise my hand and answer teachers' questions. So this is the basis. This is exactly the method to follow if you want to go from the state of comprehension to the state of expression. Of course, maybe you don't have the possibility to live in England or in an English-speaking country, but this doesn't matter. If you are in your country, but nevertheless you wish to learn English as if you were in England, nowadays, with the new technologies and the magic of YouTube, you have the possibility to listen to a lot of English, a lot of authentic material that comes from native speakers, and that will therefore give you the impression of being in England or in an English-speaking country. So, I did a lot of research on the internet, and I began to download podcasts in English, which I listened to 30 minutes to 1 hour a day. In 3 months, I was able to speak. After 3 months of intensive listening to things I understood, I was able to speak. I was able to speak English. So, it's really a very simple secret, but very, very powerful. Listening. This secret works. I'm going to share with you new videos, so please keep in touch and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can receive new videos with new techniques of acquiring English. and you will see that your level is improving day by day. So let's sum up quickly technique 1. Technique 1 is very simple. It's the secret of how to learn to speak English. So first of all, don't just take English classes. Don't just learn grammar rules. Don't just memorize vocabulary lists. Plenty of things that you shouldn't just do. What you should do, listen to a lot of English, 13 minutes, 1 hour per day. At least 13 minutes, and the more you listen, the more you improve. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this first technique. So, see you in the next video. Thank you.